Welcome back to another Premier League predictions video. This is for week 4 of the Premier League, and things are about to get busy. We've got 3 match days in just 1 week. We've got week 4 this weekend, week 5 during mid next week, and week 6 the following weekend. So it'll be interesting to see how teams navigate and deal with that. But first game up, we've got Southampton and Manchester United. This is a massive game for both sides. Both sides have to win this game. For Southampton, they managed to beat Leicester last week, 2-1, coming from behind to win. So well done. But I really don't think Southampton were impressive in this game. They didn't create that many chances, but either way, they got the win. And for United, I thought they were impressive against Liverpool. Somehow, they managed to win that game, which was surprising because I thought they were going to lose, but thumbs up for getting the 3 points. This will be a tough game. Either side could win it. I think it'll be a 2-2 draw. Next game up is Brentford and Everton. This is another big game for both sides. For Brentford, first thing I have to say is they were a disgrace in that first half against Fulham. They were shocking. Yet, somehow, they still managed to score in that first half. And then they went on to equalize in that game. I'm not sure how they managed to do this, but whatever. And then they ended up losing the game. So, at this point, it's like you don't even really care. And for Everton, they were impressive against Nottingham. They created chances, but they just didn't score goals. If they were clinical, I think they should have scored at least 2 or 3 goals in this game. So it is disappointing that they only managed to come away with a point. And yet, to touch on that, they nearly lost this game. So that is ridiculous. But going into this one, this will be a tough game. Either side could win it. I think it'll be a 2-1 win to Brentford. Next game up is Brighton and Leeds. This could be one of the games of the weekend. I also think it'll be a tough game for both sides. Brighton have been exceptional to start this season. Obviously, they beat West Ham 2-0 away from home in a really impressive win. And for Leeds, they were probably even more impressive against Chelsea. But I think they were also fortunate as well to win 3-0. Chelsea made some really bad mistakes in that game, which made Leeds look really good. Some of the mistakes were shocking and, but fair play to Leeds for capitalizing on that. Going to this one, this will be a tough game. It'll be a close one. I think it'll be a 2-2 draw. Next game up is Chelsea and Leicester. Chelsea were shocking against Leeds in their last game. And for Leicester, I think they were probably somewhat unfortunate against Southampton. Actually, to go back to Chelsea, I think they were somewhat unlucky against Leeds. They made really bad mistakes, as I just mentioned, so they were punished heavily. But in the Premier League, you can't afford to you can't afford to make these kinds of mistakes, so they probably deserve to lose the game. And for, going back to Leicester, they did go 1-0 up in that game against Southampton, but they just didn't score a second goal, and they were punished heavily because of that. Oh, excuse me, my throat. So, going to this one, I think it'll be a close game, but I think it'll be a 2-0 win to Chelsea. Next game up is Liverpool and Bournemouth. I'm not sure what's happened with Liverpool. I thought for sure they would have beaten United in their last game, but they lost 2-1 and probably deserve to lose as well. So I'm not quite sure what's going on with them. I think, maybe there's some sort of, I can't even say tactical issues because it's not as if Klopp has changed the way he's played. But either way, it'll be interesting to see what happens in this game. And for Bournemouth, obviously they got destroyed by Arsenal. And, they really got outplayed in that game. I thought they would have at least, been more solid defensively, but Arsenal cut them to ribbons. So, you get what you deserve. This will be a tough game. I think it'll be a close one. This will be a 2-0 win to Liverpool. Next game up is Man City and Crystal Palace. For Man City, it was surprising that they got a 3-3 draw away to Newcastle because I expected them to win that game somewhat comfortably. And that was a really entertaining game. So, well done to both teams. And for Palace, they got a really impressive win at home to Aston Villa. They were somewhat unfortunate because they got a penalty in that game, which was missed, but Zaha got the rebound. So, I suppose, well done. But then that third goal was world class. So, they probably deserved all 3 points. But going against Man City, this is another challenge. This will be a tough game, but I think this will be a 2-1 win to City. Next game up is Arsenal and Fulham. This will be a really tough game for Fulham. They got their first win at home to Brentford. They nearly threw away that game, but somehow they won it at the end. And for Arsenal, they've had a perfect start to the season. They've won all their games. They're scoring goals. They kept a clean sheet last week. And they're in massive form. I think they win this one 3-1. Next game up is Aston Villa and West Ham. Let's talk about West Ham for a second because they are shocking. And I'd go as far as to say that they are a disgrace. They haven't scored a league goal this season, which that is just dreadful. And really, it's unacceptable. Obviously, they lost to Brighton 2-0 at home, and they deservedly got booed off the pitch. For Aston Villa, they've had a mixed start to the season. They've lost a game, and they've also won a game as well. Obviously, what was the other game whatever. Let's just continue. So, they lost last week to Palace 3-1, which that game could have gone either way. Obviously, they took the lead. And when I was watching the game, apparently the commentators were saying that in their last 7 games, Aston Villa have taken the lead. They've gone on to lose the game, which is absolutely ridiculous because how the fuck can you lead in so many games just to go on and lose it? And in consecutive games as well. It's mind-blowing. I'm not sure how this is even a thing, but, it's unbelievable. Anyway, going to this one, I think West Ham are so bad that I think Aston Villa take all 3 points. This will be a 3-0 win to Aston Villa. Next game up is Wolves and Newcastle. I thought Wolves were exceptional against Tottenham last week, especially in that first half. They dominated the game, which is disappointing because they didn't score any goals. I think they created enough chances to score 3 or 4 goals. I'm not even kidding. They should have been 4-0 up in that first half. But of course, they didn't score. And for Newcastle, they played against Man City. And obviously, that was probably one of the performances of the season against an elite side. Having said that, going up against Wolves is different. Excuse me, is a different challenge. They are a lot more solid defensively. Actually, City should be solid defensively, but somehow they got opened up multiple times. One of the goals was a free kick, but whatever. I think this will be a close game. Either side could win it. I think it'll be a 1-0 win to Newcastle. And the last game for the week is Nottingham and Tottenham. So, obviously, Nottingham have had a good start to the season. They drew 1-1 away from home to Everton, so that's another point towards staying up. I thought Nottingham were poor last week. They did manage to score, but I thought they were dreadful against Everton, so, slightly concerning, but they are a promoted side, so it's probably what you would expect. And for Tottenham, I thought they were shocking against Wolves. They were dreadful. They did improve in the second half, but they were, let's just be honest, they were a disgrace last week. It was that bad. But somehow they managed to win the game, and it's all about getting the points. So, there you go. But going into this one, I can't see Tottenham being that bad again. But obviously they got dominated by Chelsea as well, so maybe it's a bit of a theme. But I think Tottenham win this one 3-0. And that's about it.